G'day, today I'm going to show you how to modify a standard chainsaw. This one here is a 3120Xp Husqvarna for our Warrior portable sawmill. So we have a already set up unit there and an about to be set up unit here. So basically this is how your chainsaw comes. Take that off. So what we need to do is we need to take that clutch drum off and replace it with our own clutch drum here, which is run by a pulley. This is the drum, so you can see exactly what it is, and that just replaces the existing one. The first thing we'll need to do is take this drum off. Now with the Husqvarna 3120 and the 395, you've got to stop the compression. To do that, take your air filter off, like so. Take your spark plug off. Now they usually do these up pretty tight for some reason. Let's try and there we go. This one's alright. So we take that out like that. And unlike the still, Husqvarna tells you to use a piece of string or rope, which is a bit of a pain, but that's it. So you can actually see the cylinder in there. You bring the cylinder up, or just maybe about 20 mil off the top stroke, and you just feed this through there. It seems pretty primitive, but that's what you do. And just jam as much as you can in there. And basically, that's just going to stop your cylinder, so you can actually take that clutch drum off. So we'll get as much in there as possible. Just stuff it in there, like so, and then just slowly turn that around. So now it's jammed up, so it's seized up the unit. Chuck that on there. There we go. Easy as that. So you're winding it clockwise. So that comes off. Come and get a closer look over here. So basically that comes off there. Take that out. Take the drive sprocket out. There's your little roller bearing. So then grab your little clutch pulley. Here we go. Basically that sleeves over, rotate it until it pops in there, and your clutch goes back on, anti-clockwise this time. And reverse, so anti-clockwise to tighten. Here we go, so that's on. So now I've got to get my spring out. My rope out, which we'll need to rotate this a bit that way. There we go. And we can put our spark plug back on. Right, if you look in here, there's a little bit of an obstacle. That's Husqvarna, for some reason, on their 3120, puts a little stubby bit right there. And that's a problem for us, because when we put our belt on, an AX35 is the right fit for our machine with the 3120. So when you put your belt on, it's right in the way. And if that little stub bit stays there, you're going to heat up your belt, and it's going to you're going to have to replace belts quite regularly. So basically, this one over here, I've taken it to die grinder. It was probably easier to do this when the clutch was off. You can use a grinder or whatever you have handy, and I just took away that little stubby bit. It's about a 5 by 5 by 5 millimeter square that I took away, and that gives you the clearance you need. So that's the one modification that you'll need to do to your 3120. Now there's two ways to mount this thing. This is your plate that's attached to the mill, and this is how it sits in there, right? So basically, you want to bring that as far forward as you can, right? And then this cover goes straight over it, like so. Sorry, there's one other thing you need to do. We usually take this rubber off. Just take that rivet out, and you can put it on later on if you need it as a chainsaw. But we always take that off. So you can use the guard, and it goes straight over, like this, without that rubber there. But if you're using the guard method, you really need to grind a small area out there so that the belt clears, and a small area here, because your belt actually rubs just a tad there. And you can see it on this belt because it was run without it. See that? Right there, rubs there, and it rubs there. So we've taken a small little nick out of that area, say, 15 mil deep and about 10 mil in. So, but the benefit of using this guard is when it's together, your chain brake still works. So it's a nice feature. So if you think it's okay to take a little bit off your guard, go for it. It's got some advantages. It won't affect the use as a chainsaw at all, but you do need to do that. Just two little nicks with your grinder. But if you're fussed and you don't want to modify your chainsaw other than that one little stubby bit there, you can also get this plate off us. So instead of the guard, basically this goes straight over like that. Big washer, two big washers, two small washers, and basically that's it there. But for the likes of CE, they'll need it guarded. So for Europe and CE, we use the full guard method. But for the islands, what they do a lot is they just use this scenario. So no guard required, and they can actually see the belt heat up if it gets too hot. So there's some advantages there too. But definitely two methods and three modifications if you're using the guard. One is that little stubby bit there. Two, on the back of the guard, just that little bit there, you can see it actually ground away there a bit. And a little modification right there. So, nothing major. As far as the still goes, we'll cover that next round. Those are your two stub holes. That little slot there is designed to go around your chain tensioner so that it can still pivot, like so. So just to line that up. And the same thing applies for the retaining plate. Basically, that's to miss the chain tensioner. So that goes on there like that. So there's your chain tensioner, and that's the little slot that it misses. So one other thing, you can actually have these installed when you mount your chainsaw onto the mill. But it's actually better to just completely remove them, put them aside, because they're just a pain. So just keep your two claws off. So when you're using it as a chainsaw, you'll have to put it back on. So that's basically right there. Take that off. And this here, it's there like that. Just take it off.